Hello, it's February 8th, and this is Reverend Redbeard with today's reading from If I Had One More Day. Day 39, Helping Others. God doesn't want us to become so self-focused that we forget about the needs of those around us. James 1:27 tells us clearly, religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. God wants us to help other people, and He has so much compassion for the ones who are weak, defenseless, and desperate. In Psalm 82, 3-4, we are told, defend the cause of the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the rights of the poor and oppressed. We are to protect the powerless against all who would exploit or oppress them. God wants us to help children who are in need. Perhaps they're literally orphans, and He calls us to work in an orphanage in a developing country. Perhaps there are children from our school district or neighborhood who have a difficult home life. Maybe there's a widow who lives close to us who is in poor health, and we can be the one to help her. Perhaps there's some lonely people in a nearby nursing home who would love a visitor. My husband and I minister to the homeless on Monday evenings. It's often not where I want to be after a busy work day, but once I get out to the bridge where they are, I sense God's peace and pleasure as I look beyond myself to helping others. In Luke 14:13-14, Jesus shared the wise and convicting words. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor and crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. Jesus wants us to notice, pray, and care for the most vulnerable in our society. I pray you all have a great day. Be blessed. Also, on a side note, Leslie commented in here today of her work on Monday nights for the homeless. That's actually a ministry that her and her husband started in Tyler, Texas, and now they've moved to Mexico and started it down there. But they turned over the ministry in Tyler to a couple in our church, and my wife's a major part of that ministry and is part of it every Monday night. It is a true blessing, and I'm real thankful for Leslie and her husband for starting it. Hope you all have a great day. Be blessed.